Keep looking.
Here's another reason why you want to take control of what you're doing.
Everything kind of funnels into the only winning move is not to play the game.
I don't know, guys. This whole thing sounds pre-recorded.
Yeah, this is good stuff. This is the pineapple habanero from our last guest, Danny Hudson, who was on the who owns the Tennessee Hot Sauce Company, and Ken's doing a little bit of research back and forth. But let me tell you something. I've got a comment because if you're listening to the Weathered View, which is every morning on X, excuse me, we have a discussion about whether pineapple belongs on pizza or not. But I found I forgot all about the fact that maybe I should put some of this pineapple habanero on my wife's pineapple and ham pizza that she has, which I think is an abomination to pizza myself. I mean, that's really the way I feel about it. But
Wrong.
A little sweet and a little hot. Maybe that's where it's at. What do you think, Ken?
Pineapple belongs on pizza. You're just wrong about that. But yeah, that was a good show we did last week with Danny. I hope you go back and listen to that one. It's fantastic. He may or may not be popping back in here with us. We'll see. Hope so. If not, that's okay.
Well, why don't you welcome everybody into the episode and tell them, hey, how glad we are to see them.
How glad are we to see you? Well, we appreciate everyone that watches, listens, shares the show. We are growing, which is kind of a nice thing. After a couple of years and 300 episodes, it's just starting to finally grow a little bit. And so we appreciate everyone that listens, and we're always looking forward to comments that you have and joining in on the show here. So feel free to, as you listen, send us a note, and it'd be awesome if you leave us a good review or a 5-star review once in a while. That really helps the algorithm have other people find us. And we do our shows on X, of course, every weekday morning for the most part, other than once in a while. We've got last week we were off, but that's more of the Wild West of conversation, and kind of anything goes, where these shows get to be a little bit more serious. And but we still have fun with it. So Bruce has been eating hot sauce with this one. As I mentioned before, I found a very good rum that I'll share it with you right now. Tatterstall, which is in River Falls, Wisconsin.
No.
It's excellent rum. This is it's Tatterstall Darkness barreled rum. 100 proof, so you don't need much of it, but it's super tasty. Anyway, I digress. As we talk through entrepreneurship and government and liberty, a lot of the people that we've had, if you look at our guests, have been people that have risen above it. Any kind of government control or things like that. You work with it, you work around it, you play the cards that you got. And you can fight City Hall, or you can choose not to fight City Hall at the same time. You can beat them by being a success and buy City Hall. That's also a thing. So we're always looking for people, guests, someone to talk to that has an interesting story about their entrepreneurial journey, whether it's just getting started or you've done very well at it. And Danny Hudson that we had on was one of the guys that was with Bruce and myself and Jason from Horrible Designs that developed that whole business while we were all collaborating in the Nomad Network, which was something that we were all involved in. At the same time, I was building my art business. Horrible Designs came out of that. I mean, the name Horrible Designs came in a Wednesday night Zoom call where we had remember the winner's circle? We had a winner's circle. The whole idea of having this call was people in the network to come in and say, you know what, it's time to brag about yourself. This good thing happened to us. Yeah. And we find people don't do that enough, and it's you get to a certain level of entrepreneurship when you have a little bit of success. It's hard to find someone that understands the success. It's like
Right.
listening to the people that tell you don't do that, but they've never done it, and so what we're trying to do here also with this show is kind of spread that word. That's just like, you know what, if a person hasn't done, if these are your loved ones, this is your mom and dad, your brothers and sisters, your good friends, and they'd be like, oh, that's never going to work. And then I knew a guy that tried that and it didn't work, but you never tried it.
Yeah.
People that did make it work and find out what they did.
Yeah.
And like Danny Hudson was one of the people that figured it out. And when he started it, he had no, I remember talking to him, he had no aspirations of making this his full-time job. It just, he likes hot sauce and it'd be some fun to do and he can make a few bucks here and there. But now, after talking to him, he's got a 4 or 5 year plan how to move out of a corporate. I mean, he does well. So for him to move out of a corporate job, that's a big deal. But there's been a lot of people that have done that. And, our friend Jason from Horrible Designs that helps us with the show, he's been off for a while, you guys. He's not off the show or anything.
He's not gone. No.
He's trying to sell his house and he's been redoing it. And by redoing it, he's doing it himself. Him and his brother-in-law are like, they resided the whole house. He's re-drywalling everything. He put floor. I was over there.
He rebuilt the whole house. He rebuilt the house.
No, Bruce, I was just there. I mean, I was there. He lives about an hour from me, and I had to pick up some merch that for our Edina car show got coming up. And his whole house is torn to pieces. There's everything, and he's working on it to get it all together. And so that's why because by Sunday nights he's just done. He's like, nope, we are not. When we record this between our time here, Central Time, it's 9 o'clock to 10, and then usually 10 to 11 for the second show,
right,
like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
It gets pretty late when you've spent the whole weekend just
banging it out.
Yeah. So
we've had a couple of those weekends. We've had a couple of those weekends lately. So I mean, I know how it is to bang it out and then come in here and try to do the podcast, try to be, the pretty voice on the radio or wherever.
Anything to stay in show business.
It's the same thing. But no, man, hey, listen, we are on episode 77. Can you believe that? Our first show, me and you together, our first show was on the 14th of January of 2024, and now we are on the second season. We are on episode. Let me see, what episode are we on? We're episode 70. Let me see what we got. Oh, nope, I'm on the wrong season, man. Hold on. We're on episode 77. So that's what we're doing now.
How long are we going to do this?
I don't know, but we're in the 77 episodes. But hey, the Weathered View, our X show, we're on 378 episodes, man.
Damn straight.
Oh, God. I mean, think about that. Think about that. How many shows survive past like the 5th show?
Not many. In fact, most podcasts don't get to 10. 1% of podcasts get to 100 episodes. 1%. And we are closing in on that. We do our show every day. It's a lot less produced, the Twitter Spaces show.
Absolutely.
Obviously, there's no video. Bruce and I are literally both driving in our cars while we're doing it. So
2012 RAV4 mobile studio.
Yep, and I am either in a Subaru Forester, a Lincoln Town Car, or an Oldsmobile Delta 88. So I've got a varied group of cars that I'm driving in.
Could you ever imagine that when we met at the, whatever Jason's reiteration of the group it was at that time, that we would be sitting here, 400 shows, 450 shows into some kind of podcasting that we've done.
Right. I've got, you had a podcast that had a bunch of shows before. I started one during that time, and I was trying to make something that was like really, really good. And it was taking me a whole weekend to produce a half an hour show that I was doing, because I had edits and coming in and out and doing all this stuff. My wife's like, what are you doing? So, I mean, I did, I think 14 or 15 episodes. And then, over the course of 2 years, and that's all I can muster. So being able to do it like this, what Bruce and I both found out is that we're both better with someone else to bounce ideas off of. To try and do it ourselves, it just wasn't working very well because we're just not that interesting.
No, not at all. I mean, I first started this out with myself, did a couple of shows, and
Right.
then my neighbor Dougie came in, and if everybody knows the Weathered Soul
And
podcast.
you guys had a good show. I mean, I
We had a
listened
good
to that
show. I
one.
was I was the Hannity, and he was the Combs, and
Yeah.
it went off good for a while. And I missed Dougie for for as long as we did the show, and we had probably more than 100 episodes, and the show went well. But we kind of things don't last forever,
change.
and
That's right.
it changes as things that go on. And probably someday the weather report might change. I don't know. Might
Yeah,
be
you're right.
Might be an ugly.
Welcome to the Madden Report. It's we'll get rid of this guy over here. I've just taken over the show right now, and we're going to be going back to. See, this is why you can't have nice things.
This is why we can't have nice things.
See,
though.
Bruce made the awful mistake of giving me admin control, so I can do whatever I want in here.
And he's learning every day. He didn't even know how to start the show at one time, and now he's got all the bells and controls and the whistles.
I still don't
and
know
all
how
that
to
other
start
stuff.
the show or end it. I just know the middle part.
Ken, man, it's been just like a pleasure to be doing this podcast. I mean, this is an expensive hobby. I mean, we always go back and forth about like, hey, you can go to patreon.com/weathersoul and pick us up and go make sure that we stay on the air. I mean, that would be great. You can buy me a cup of coffee, at /weathersoul, and you can do all that stuff if you want to kind of support us. But I mean, basically, this is an expensive hobby for us.
Well-
and we all have expensive hobbies. If it's not cars, classic cars, if it's not music, if it's not gardening,
Which we both
into,
have those too.
I mean, I posted this morning on Facebook about my garden. I'm going like, I don't have enough, but I've got this jungle in my backyard that is a fully functioning farm, pretty much.
You bring up a good point. So as we're trying to grow this show, we're at the point now where we need to start. We're working with some other podcasters, and
Yep.
both Bruce and I have both been guests on their shows, have been guests on ours, and that's very helpful. We really appreciate that, and we're going to continue to do that. But some of what we need to do to grow the show is to do some advertising, and Bruce has taken on the financial burden of the show completely by himself, and it's not an enormous amount of money, but if we want to do some advertising to kind of grow the show, it's going to take a little bit of money, and we're trying to make the show pay for itself. So that's why we're over here just encouraging. It definitely, if you're not in any position to give, please don't feel like you have to give us a dollar a month. If we're not begging for money, but if you have a few extra bucks, you can send Bruce, so we can start doing some advertising and things like that. It's greatly appreciated. It's only going to help the show. Every penny of it goes to the show. It's not going to Bruce's square body sweet truck project. Believe me, because if it was, I'm not against that for you, Bruce, but I know it ain't going there. So we really do appreciate anything that you can do to help. But really, even better yet, listen to the show. Share the show. Our good friend Jason Stapleton used to say, share the show with 5 people that you'll know that will love it and 1 person that you know won't. And just because then you'll have a conversation with that 1 person and the other 5 people will love it. And hopefully we can win that 5th person over. New listeners are fantastic. We are very open. You can send us emails through the website, the Weathered Soul website. You can put comments in on any of our social media. We have plenty of it. We do a lot on Twitter because that seems to be the place that you're going to be allowed to speak freely more than anywhere else right now. YouTube and Facebook are still pretty quirky in times. So as we go through our Twitter spaces during the week, Weathered View, which is 8 to 8:45 Central Time every weekday for the most part, you can find us on there. We've got quite a group of a motley crew group of other podcasters on there. So we got the Boomer Bunker. We've got I Had to Say It. We've got who else we got for podcasters that come on there with?
We're soon to get what is it, the final 5-minute time limit, which is BT Squeezy or something like that. He invited me on his show. We have Lorenzo from the Misanthrope 2.0 radio, and he's a fantastic storyteller. I mean, if you like storytelling kind of podcasts and stuff like that, Misanthrope Radio 2.0 is the place to go. But you gotta like that kind of I don't know, what do you call it? What do they call that? Nior. Nior? Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nior. You gotta like that, because that's what kind of podcast he does. Aaron's pretty much like a 45-minute rant without breathing, and the Boomer Bunker is just an off the hook, just a ribald, just not right.
Yeah, it's very entertaining. It's very entertaining, and
Yes, it is.
we really like those guys. They spend a lot of mornings with us on there too, on
Yeah.
our Twitter Spaces, and we've been at their show, they've been on ours. It's just a great group of people. There's some other great podcasts out there. So if you're out there listening to this too, throw a message in the show notes in the comments section. Even if you're listening to this, a year from now, what podcast do you like to listen to that maybe some people haven't heard of? One of the ones I really enjoy is the Bob Davis podcast. And he's a guy that's a friend of mine that had a radio show. He was the number 2 morning radio show in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. And he was AM radio. And it was FM too. So AM and FM talk show in the morning. Not a DJ. It was just a political talk show. And it was called Davis and Emmer. And it was Bob Davis and Tom Emmer, who is now the whip, right? He's the majority whip in Washington, D.C. Tom had run for governor and lost because, it's Minnesota and they can't pick good people. And, I got to know Tom and I got to know Bob. We actually hired Bob at our company to help us grow podcasting advertising buys, because he understood radio and how to do it. He also understood podcasting. They're 2 different markets, but there were some similarities. And his Bob Davis podcasts in 2020, he said, the hell with this. He had an ambulance that it was his mobile command center. It's the mobile control unit, number 10. I don't know. I can't remember, but it's a 2000 ambulance, Ford F-450 ambulance that he converted into being able to camp in it. By converted, he moved a couple things around. But in 2020 on Halloween, he had sold, given away, thrown away, or put in storage everything he owns and went on the road. And he's lived in this ambulance for the last 5 years doing podcasts. He stopped doing political commentary, all that stuff. He just did podcasts about being free, living on the road, and they're phenomenal.
Yes.
So go to Bob Davis podcast. So which one you listen to, Bruce? That
I'll tell you what, I
might not know about.
All kinds of podcasts, like the No Agenda podcast is like probably one of my favorite. TDC, which is the old Detroit cast out of Detroit, Michigan, is an excellent podcast. Mike and his crew there really do a fine podcast. They're more like a news podcast. They do the news of the day and news of last night, and the news of what we do, what might happen today, and a lot of commentary on the NFL. I'm going to be on a podcast. Well, since people are listening to this next Sunday, I'm going to be on a podcast just this past Tuesday, which is going to be the 5-minute time limit podcast. And I'll be on there with the Dutchess, and we talk about wrestling, which I know you don't like wrestling, but that's
throw us a date on that, because people might be listening to this in December and don't know what the hell you're talking about. So what's the date?
That's going to be what is it? Let me see. That's going to be September 2nd, 2025. That's when me and Dutchess are going to be on with Shoot the Shiznit. That's what it is. Patreon.com, Shoot the Shiznit. And BT's a excellent guy. I haven't talked to him yet, but we've conversed back and forth between other shows and stuff like that. Real good guy. He does a show with what is it? He did one with just a couple weeks ago with Dutchess about the first album she ever had, which was Grease. And that was an excellent show. It was funny as hell. But he also does a 5-minute podcast, and he does these 5-minute shots all the time. He's hitting the internet with all these little 5-minute shots, and it's really cool. So we're going to do a little wrestling shot. That's going to be pretty good. I'm going to be doing A World Ablaze with George Fontez. That's going to be coming up. We haven't got a date down yet, but I'm going to sit down with him. He's a West Coast guy just like me, so it'll probably be a nice little long talk because that's what he does. He does these long form podcasts for 1 or 2 hours, and who knows what we're going to talk about. Maybe we'll talk about Governor Newsom. Which is one of my favorite subjects. But anyway, yeah, I listen to all kinds of shows. I can pull them up here. So I listen to Mean Age Daydream with the Lions of Liberty. I also listen to Finding Freedom. That's John Odermatt. He's been on the show before.
Well, let's pause right there for a second
Yeah.
and talk about the Lions of Liberty. So Lions of Liberty group of podcasts is growing.
Yes.
They went through a huge growth spurt in the 2014 to 2020, 2021. There was some personnel changes, some things changed. I mean, everything, the world changed. And John Odermatt and Brian McWilliams have taken control and have been growing it, and they've added a few more shows to it, some more people. And so you can just go to just search Lions of Liberty and wherever you get your podcasts. And there's they're doing 4 or 5 shows a week now.
They're doing a whole bunch of different ones now. So they're doing one called Politics, and that is POLITICKS, like a tick. Politics podcast. They do that one, and they put on 2 other guys. I don't remember their names offhand real quick, but they're doing some more. Let me see the Lions here. Let me get it to. So we got Lions, we got John Odermatt and Brian Millers. They haven't changed their website yet, but they got 2 other guys that are doing a podcast with them now. So they have a network, and they've always had a network, and pretty good guys. I mean, like I said, we've had John and Brian on our show. We've also been
Lou Perez,
and there's another guy, but we've also been on their show too. So I mean, we all kind of travel in the same car, so to speak, and we're all going to the same place, and some of us are more popular than others, and some of us don't want to be popular at all. We just want to be listened to, and that's kind of where I'm at. It would be nice to have the Joe Rogan experience, but I don't want the Joe Rogan experience. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take it.
Would you
I'm
sell
all
out?
about.
Would you sell out though?
I'd sell out in a minute. You know that. And anyone that says they wouldn't is lying. Here's $110 million to be on the cell.
We got $100 million for you. We want you to be the next Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, hell, I'll be Rachel Maddow. I'm better looking than that guy. But I'd also, I'd be a vegan. That whole thing, drive an electric car. Give me $110 million. I'll figure it out.
You have the Subaru.
I've already got the Subaru, for crying out loud. I mean, I'm ready to go.
Turn around. I want to see if you still have that bun in the back. Do you still have that bun? Nope. He took it off. He cut it off.
Matt, I lost the douche knot, fell off with all the rest of the hair up here. I used to have real long hair. Long hair.
We all had long hair before, but I mean, now I'm just chasing it back. So
my forehead keeps getting bigger too. And it might find this other spot in the back that my kids say they know when I'm mad because it turns red.
Everything's getting grayer, I don't know.
Yeah. Pretty soon we'll both be dead. And then what are you going to listen to?
You'll say, I remember when. Remember old Amos and Andy?
Yeah, I remember Ken and Bruce. Right. Abbott and Costello over here.
Yeah. Ken, it's been a real pleasure. And now we got a reason to take next Sunday off.
Well, I'm actually, so as we're recording this, I'm getting ready to go on. I'll be at a trade show for 5 days. But part of the trade show is they got people in the industry that play instruments to put a band together, and we do a night. We do a show. We do 3 sets. People can sit in and stuff like that if you can play. But I'm bringing my drum set down to this, and it's pretty cool. It's just industry people playing. So it's like everyone up on stage, and it's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, at a pretty good sized place that probably holds, I don't know, 2,500 people, pretty big arena, and awesome. Nightclub, old, like built in the 1890s or 1900s, right in there. So it's a really cool place. And so we'll be playing and doing that. Of course, selling our wares and doing our thing there too. It's one of the few trade show things that I do every year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. That's always a fun time. It's 4 hours from where I'm at, just a 4 hour
Right.
drive.
Yeah.
But
Well, shortly
yeah,
after, yeah, shortly
go ahead.
after I do the Shooting the Cisne podcast on Tuesday, I'll be off to the High Sierra, the other side of Yosemite National Park, where cell phones don't work and satellites don't work, and in the middle of a canyon that has lots of fish and bourbon and poker chips. So that's what I'll be doing for this week. So that's I'll be up there with we're down to 15 guys that we've been doing this trip for 55 years. This is the 55th year that we've been doing it. And I would challenge anybody out there that would find some place that somebody's been in a group that has been doing something every year for the last 55 years on the same week. It is just incredible.
Might I just throw this to you because you enjoyed one of those things out here with me,
Yep.
and that's back to the 50s.
Absolutely.
Started in 1973.
Yep.
So every year that happens. Yep. That's
That was fun.
I've been going to that for 33 years. Yeah,
Yeah,
33 years.
fun. That was fun. It was very fun. But yeah, man. So I think what we'll do is we'll just wrap this up and say, hey, man, it's been a pleasure, dude, and I can't wait for
Likewise.
Yeah, I can't wait for episode 78 to come around because we're gonna have we're gonna have more guests. That's what we're gonna do.
So let me just throw this out there before we go. One of the things that I'm going to be working on over the next few months for our Patreon people is to give you a little bit more of a bonus. When we have people on and guests on that sell stuff, I'm approaching them and saying, hey, is there a sale coupon or something that we can offer only our guests?
Right.
And I'm willing to offer a 20% off my entire website.
Yeah.
And I will be putting together a code for that we can use for my products, my artwork that I make.
And who would that be?
That would be maddkstudio.com, maddkstudio.com. And for those of you that listen to the show, you know I'm an artist. That's what I do, and that's my retirement plan is just being an artist, kind of an eccentric old artist guy. So that's what I do. MaddKstudio.com. You can go there, and we'll put some links up here. So upcoming too. Let me tell you about this little announcement. So if you're listening to this in September of 2025. Every year I do something called Inktober, where there's a magical list of words fall from the interwebs and land in your brain, and it's a different word for every single day in the month of October. And you're supposed to do a drawing of something of some sort. The last 2 years I've made coloring books out of my drawings because obviously at the end of the month you have 31 drawings. And this year I'm doing everything. I'm challenging myself, Bruce. We're going to do another coloring book. All
right.
tiki. So everything is going to be tiki related for
volume 3. Volume
3. Yep. It's going to be volume 3 of the coloring books. You can go to maddkstudio.com/coloring book and you can see the 2 I have there. They're limited editions. I've got a few left of 1 and 2. So
personally
get them
signed?
where you can.
Personally signed?
I will personally sign them. If you put that in the comments, you want a signed copy, I won't even charge you anymore. I'm that kind of a guy. But we're gonna have a new one out in November, so you want to get those other 2 going, and I'm pretty excited about that. So we're gonna do everything tiki. I'm gonna have a pretty tiki. I'm hoping next year at the Tiki Oasis in Arizona in April that I will have a booth set up and be actually selling stuff this year. I didn't have enough completed to really do it and make sense because it's very expensive to get there and do it. But we hope to get there and do that. So that's part of what, and honestly, it's part of the reason I like to do these shows is, just to spread that out there. And this is a good way of marketing to get out there. I'm not going to say it's paid off yet, but mostly I do this with my friend Bruce because he's my friend Bruce, and we really enjoy these conversations. And we hope that it brings something to your life that's enjoyable. And if it does, please share it.
Yeah. And before we leave, I have one question for you as you're an artist, and that Burning Man is off and running right now. Why are you not at Burning Man? Why are you not at Burning? Why is Ken Madden not at Burning Man in the orgy tent?
Is there ever a place that is set up for me that I don't know why I don't go? I don't know. I've had some friends that have gone down there and tried to get in, and they won't let you in. And it's a process, especially coming from where I'm coming from. But it is definitely something I need to do. I really need to put together some redonkulous vehicle for that, though. I can't just. I mean, I could show up. Like if I showed up in the Delta 88, it's pretty close to the Evil Dead car from the Evil Dead series.
I would show up. I would show up if you went. I would go. I would try to go.
Yeah, I think I would go full freak on that too. I think that's where you do an alter ego.
Are you talking about the Ken Green freaking mankini and all that stuff going on, or what?
Oh, I'd go way further than that. That's just that would be what I go get coffee in the morning. I think you have to go full freak show on that one.
Yeah.
And wild eccentric artist and just like remember Garth Brooks had his like rock and roll alter ego.
Jeez.
You know, it was just off. I'd do something like that. It would be like
something to forget.
It'd be like a Madame Tussauds or something. I'd get crazy with it. I think because if you're gonna go there, you might go big or go home, right?
Go big or go home, right? Exactly. That's where that's why people go is to go big or go home, right?
Right.
But God smited them this year and destroyed their orgy tent, and they just it's a mud hole over there right now, so they're not having a good time.
Yeah,
maybe they are having a good time. Maybe some.
It looks like a place I'd get in a lot of arguments.
Yeah,
which would be fun.
It would be fun.
And I think what I would also do is I would bring just a shit ton of guns, but have them all custom painted as something else, so no one would really know what that is. That's like, well, that's a real weird looking suitcase, Turtle. I'm like, yeah, it is. Watch this. Dig, 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 dig.
There you go.
There goes the orgy tent.
Ken, have a good time at the trade show this year.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, we'll.
You're not even going, but you have a good time there too. Anyway.
Yeah, no problem, man. Hey, we'll see you guys next week with another excellent guest on our show, and we're just looking forward to keep this thing going for as long as we can keep it going, man. So please like and share and subscribe to this podcast if you like it. Go down there and support us somehow by patreon.com/BrotherSoul, or buy us a cup of coffee or whatever it is. The links are down in the show notes. And we couldn't do it without you guys sitting here listening to us all the time, just babbling on. So I'm going to leave you like I leave you every week. You guys have a great week and be good to yourselves. We'll see you next time on the Weather Report. We'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Peace.